I struggle with the reality of heaven and hell. You're not alone. A lot of people do. How can the human mind fully understand what heaven and hell really are? How does a just and loving God allow hell if we cannot really understand how awful it is and how great heaven is? Well, you are right in that a finite mind cannot perfectly understand everything. However, that in itself doesn't constitute an impediment to knowing enough to do what's necessary to be saved. God gives, here's a teaching of the church, God gives sufficient grace to every human being to be saved. Every human being gets sufficient grace to be saved. Not every human being corresponds to that grace. Is it necessary to have perfect knowledge of hell or heaven or God? No, it's not necessary. Matter of fact, it's impossible. You can't have perfect knowledge about anything because you're a creature. Your mind is finite, limited, but it's not necessary to have perfect knowledge of heaven or hell. Listen, I don't have perfect knowledge of hell. Matter of fact, I don't know much more about it than you do. You know, I haven't visited the place. I don't know, but I'll tell you this, I know enough to say I don't want to go there. I don't have to have perfect knowledge of what it is. Believe you me, you can read things the church is teaching. In the catechism, you can read some of the writings of the saints, undertake a little bit of study of that, and you can conclude very definitely you don't want to go there. So you can have enough knowledge of heaven and hell, certainly to go in the right direction, okay? So it's a reality. It is a mystery. I will grant you that. It is a mystery how a loving God, and what it is, it's wrapped up in the mystery of free will. How a loving God could give us free will. In other words, we have intellect and free will. Those are the two highest faculties of the soul. As a matter of fact, that's what primarily makes us in the image and likeness of God. Intellect, will, and his memory, those three things. It's frightening that we have the freedom to actually do evil. We can reject God. We can reject love. We can reject heaven. That's a frightening thing. Well, why would God do that? That is a mystery. I'll grant you that. It is a mystery. I do not know, but I know that's the way it is, for sure. There certainly is heaven, and there certainly is hell. One explanation of it, I often say, look, if you want someone to love you, you wouldn't hire a hitman to make them love you. That's not authentic love. Coercion is not how you get authentic love out of someone. So, God leaves us free. He wants us to love him freely. Okay? I know that when you think about it, that can be a hard thing, but just take my word for it. That's the way it is. Don't take my word for it. Take the church's teaching for it. That's the way it is. Do good, avoid evil. That basic precept is inscribed in every human soul. The natural law written in every human heart. Do good, avoid evil.